Hello.
Ta-da!
Hello.
Hi.
I feel my foundation on my face.
You do?
And I don't like it. Does it look okay?
I mean,
it's all washed out anyway.
yeah, but
I just like to
are you like not? You're not in the center
I just
either.
like to think that I tried.
You're just off to the side, Nancy. Why are you off to the side?
Switch is being so like immediately as soon as the lights go on and the camera's rolling.
She's
she
like,
starts being super
"Hello,
cute.
it's time for me to be here too."
I want to be a distraction.
I don't know why she decides cat. It's cat.
It's cat. It's the cat gene.
It's just cats. She's like, "What's the most inopportune thing that I can do right now?"
Shout out to Miguel's boyfriend for making cheesecake.
Yep.
Sup fam? I don't even like
Sup.
cheesecake, but this is bomb. It's been sitting out here for
Yeah, it has. It's
And-
like probably soft now though because it was sitting
Yeah.
in my fridge for like an hour when I got home, so it's probably like a little more.
That's really cool.
Oh my god, have you seen that the new ASMR with the
No.
It's like a black lady.
No.
I think she's like, I'm not sure if she's
Black
like
market.
no, it's a black lady, and she's always dressed kind of the same.
I don't
She's
see
always,
color, Miguel.
Well, I do, and she's very nice. She has like some very different ASMR videos. Like, it's always there. She's always minding her business in them. She doesn't really talk. She doesn't like provide any context in the short ones that I've seen because they're always clips.
She's just like,
No, she's like eating. There's one where she's just like has a giant jar of like Vlasic pickles and she's eating them, and you can hear every fucking crunch.
can we do that?
We should.
Give me an excuse to buy a giant
Oh
pickle
my
jar.
god!
Please.
Could you imagine that? But
We're gonna forget like 3 minutes in.
Yeah.
We're doing it.
no. But
Just start
she
eating
also
pickles.
has another video of her typing, and it's like a Twitter meme because it's like me arguing with Nazis on the internet today, and it's just like her being like.
Who do you know her name?
No, I don't. I only ever see her in like memes. Yeah. They talked about her on the read, and I didn't know what they were talking about at first, but then it came up on Tumblr, and I was like, oh god.
This is a queen.
Yeah.
This is a queen that everybody needs to know.
I know. I wish I knew her name. I should have researched it before.
Is she the one with the fake like silicone ear?
No. That's Heather Feather. She's just like Heather Feather's just like a white girl. But
Just like your old run-of-the-mill white girl.
you know, like, I spent way too much money on ASMR gear, so I'm gonna make a career out of it now.
I bought an ear.
Mm-hmm. I sound like a manic pixie dream girl, and that's where I'm making my money.
I'm the girl with the ear.
Fuck you, pay me.
So we just watched the newest episode of Game of Thrones.
Episode 6,
Five.
5. I thought 5 or 6.
And spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
Gendry's
because
back and my life is complete again.
he was not fucking around this episode.
He said I have a
He
fucking
was-
hammer and I'm gonna swing it. Thing 1, thing 2, no more of this Viagra business.
Nope. He was done as soon as he stepped his like.
He's like, I got my bag. Who is that guy to him? It's not his dad's dead.
He
His
just
dad's the
knows that.
Baratheon
He just
guy.
knows that man's supposed to be coming back, I think.
Oh, okay.
And he's like, "Oh, you're back. It's lit. Let's go. I got things to do too."
He just grabbed his duffel bag and his
The way
giant
he just
hammer.
like murdered those two guys on the shore
Yeah.
of King's Landing. He was like, "Hey, we gotta go." He's like, "Yeah, I gave you the chance to get rid of these dudes. They don't want to go away because of Tyrion now, so I'm just gonna do it my way."
They don't want your money. I said I got my
Exactly.
hammer. Let's do this.
Yes, I love how you waited for us to start filming to eat the cheesecake.
I try.
You got like through half of it. TBH, we were doing makeup the whole entire time
my
we were
best.
watching Game of Thrones, so she didn't really have time to eat.
I did my best. I told you I eat really slow.
I cannot get over that Master Chrome highlighter though. It's really nice.
Yeah.
It's super nice.
How does it? I don't know how it looks on. We did our makeup in the dark.
We did. I got to look at myself in the bathroom, and that's right. Like as I walked out of there, and like sat down. That's why I looked in the mirror, and I was like blending again because I had like a fucking like a garage door of brown on my forehead.
Oh, look at that. I hate my smile lines. Look at my makeup.
Oh,
I'm too happy.
we'll set them next time. Oh yes, bitch.
I'm chewing on your Scoria. What's the dragon's name?
Dracarys.
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 I don't know
whatever
any
she
of these
says it.
bitches' names. I
They're all
know-
named after her brothers, and honestly, who cares?
Yeah, like
Because all of her brothers weren't shit.
wasn't one of her brothers in like way back in season 1? Have you seen all the show?
Yes, I've seen all of them.
Wasn't she fucking her brother?
She was
Or who
not.
was that blonde guy?
That was her brother, the one that got his head melted,
yeah,
with the golden crown,
Not melted, but like cast in
burned to
gold.
death. That was her brother, and the
I thought they were
Dothraki
doing it.
killed him because they were like, "Fuck this dude."
Yeah, he was an asshole. I remember that.
He was a huge dick to her because he basically sold her to Khal Drogo.
Oh yeah.
Remember, he like was the one who was like, "Hey, do this," and like thankfully it worked out because he actually really liked her, and like
Yeah.
honestly, Jason Momoa Rami now because he's so cute.
Him. Okay, so you said Jon Snow or the
Khal
Dothraki.
Drogo.
I would.
See what I mean?
Would I pick Drogo over Jon Snow though? That's the true question.
I would. Honestly, Jon Snow does not look like he eats ass. And I know every Dothraki man, that's like the standard. You can't look at them and not think that.
Goddamn. Now I have to.
Is it true or not?
Now I have to deliberate again.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
Gotta think about that stuff.
Yeah.
Gotta invest in thought.
In
THOT.
Oh my god. So what did you think about this episode? What was your favorite part?
Um.
My least favorite part was that there was no Brienne.
The wildlings boss at the wall being like, "Did you bring other men? Did you bring the big woman?" I love that. I love that he is like unabashedly and like in love with like Brienne of Tarth. Like Lady Brienne is the shit, and I don't blame him.
Thank you.
But no, yeah. So he's just in love with her, and he doesn't fucking care who knows it because he's like, "I'm gonna marry that woman one day."
Yeah.
And I honestly hope to God that they do like fall in love.
I want to see that scene.
Because they're both redheads.
In real life?
No, but like in the show, like Brienne has like red blonde hair, and so does he.
She has like platinum blonde hair.
I mean, if they had a child, it would be Ginger.
Yeah, because Ginger's like a dominant gene.
Yeah, I don't know, but I think that would be really cute.
Hell yeah, I want to see that scene.
Wildling and a lady of the fucking crown. Smooch is so confused by your clapping.
That's what I want to hear in their scene.
Ew. What is that one vine? That's what good pussy sounds like.
Yeah.
And it's his mom making macaroni.
Yeah.
And when she like looks up at him, he's like Indian or something, and she's like, "Amir," and he like runs out of the room. It's a really funny vine.
So what are your predictions? Are you like a no spoilers kind of person, or do you not care about spoilers because you're gonna watch it anyway?
I don't care about spoilers because they never like. No one's gonna give me like
the exact.
Yeah.
Shop.
I'm not gonna get like the entirety and be able to visualize everything on my own, so
Yeah.
I don't mind it.
I mind.
You do?
A lot. Yeah. My best friend, I think she saw, I don't know if she like read the leaks because they got hacked into, and like a lot of the HBO got hacked.
That happens like every year with Game of Thrones though.
But I think this one was like contact information, production notes from like a year ago and stuff like that. And I don't know what the fuck she saw, but she saw some of it and she was just like, yes, all of the information. And she was trying to tell me what the fuck happened, and I was just like, you need to shut your mouth. You need to shut your filthy mouth. Don't tell me nothing. I don't want to see it.
I'm
I
okay
texted
with
her.
spoilers.
I texted her. She didn't text me back because I was like, Gendry or
She ghosted you.
She goes to me.
She was like, "I have tea," and you were like, "No thanks, no thanks, sis." So can we get into some stuff?
No. Okay.
So
What goes on?
what goes on?
I'll just be.
My boyfriend texted me. He was like, "Good luck tonight."
Tell him I like his cheesecake.
Okay, well, I'll let him know that right now because he's gonna go to sleep
There's
soon.
a hair on this.
It's probably mine or Smooch's.
No, it's the cat's.
Yeah.
I heard you could die from eating cat hair.
I mean, they can't die from eating their own hair, so I don't see why we could.
No, I heard people can die from eating cat
I
hair.
doubt it.
I think I heard
It
that.
has to have probably some kind of like bacteria on it for people to die. Where'd you read that? Facebook? You guys wouldn't get that unless you watched the last episode.
I saw that on Facebook News, so I know it's 100% factual. You can die from eating cat hair.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go.
Ooh.
Did you Snopes it though?
What is Snopes? You say that
Snopes is
all
like
the time.
it's like a fact checking website. You can check the facts on it.
How do you know that they check their facts? Do they have the Carfax?
Probably. There's a strong chance of it. I would believe them.
Snopes. Who owns Snopes?
I have no idea. It's a good question.
It's me.
Okay, so I have a chunklet and a peak of the week this week.
Oh shit! What's my peak of the week? Oh my god. Okay, I have it.
You're gonna really like my peak of the week.
Okay.
I think you will.
Give it to me in order of from most surprising to least surprising. Ooh.
I'm gonna do least surprising because you're gonna be like, of course this exists, but I've never looked into it. Regarding my peak of the week, so
Okay.
I'll give you my chancla first.
Okay.
Let me just read the headline to you that I read. 15 teenagers treated for rabies after engaging in bestiality with a donkey. So there in Morocco, there is a group of children and teenagers, I'm assuming, who,
Oh God.
for whatever reason, you know, along with the laws in Morocco, I'm sure it's like illegal for you to engage in certain acts, like with just regular humans. I'm assuming there's like, you know, clauses and stuff. You know what I mean? Like laws about dating. And these kids, I guess, were like, you know what, bitch, we're gonna like pull a fast one on our parents and we're just gonna fuck this animal. So
A donkey?
15 children, you know, assorted ages, I assume. I'm assuming it started with like 1 or 2, and then they like told their friends, and they were like, hey, guess what? Oh. And like they probably shared it around, and it ends up being about 15. It ends up being at least 15 that are being treated, and the town's trying to like, obviously they're probably going to have charges brought upon them, and their towns are probably going to like, you know, if you go to the hospital for rabies treatment, you know why you're being treated for rabies.
What the fuck? Yeah, because you fucked the donkey.
Yep.
Was it like boys and girls?
I would assume it's just boys, but I mean, still.
What the fuck?
That's nasty, right?
You gotta be pretty desperate.
I know. And like, honestly, why wouldn't you just masturbate?
100% just masturbate.
Like,
Jesus.
I would.
Go to the little porn store, get yourself a little iPad
I
holder
don't
with
think
a flashlight, and just kind of.
If they're out here resorting to donkeys, I would assume that they don't have that. Like a porn
left
store.
hand
But
or
even
a right hand?
I'm saying, like, when left to your own devices, like, you have hands, and like they're crafted like this way for a reason. So why not
God
just
made
use
you
them
to masturbate.
Yeah, and I thought that was Mark, my boyfriend, actually helped me find that story. I told him, I was like, I don't want a huge political type of chancla this week. We've been political the last like 4 episodes.
Yeah.
So
unintentionally.
Yeah, unintentionally, it's just always come up because
of the fuckery.
Yeah, because of the state of our fucking wonderful country. But yeah, I wanted to talk about that because when he read that headline to me this morning, I was just like, what?
This morning? He saw that in the morning? What a way to
Well, I mean, he
tone.
probably saw it throughout, like, at some point this week because every time I see him, he always wants to talk about the news.
Okay.
Because he's, like, the one person who always wants to talk about the news to me. So he talked to me about that. That was, like, the first thing. As soon as I, like, let Smooch out of her cage at his house, he was like, guess what?
15 kids in Morocco.
And when I asked him about it later on, like, today, I was like, help me find a chancla. And he was like, oh, I know. So he gave me that.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I wonder if that was just like the first time they got caught.
That's what I want to know. I want to know how long like it took for them to be like, fuck, I have to tell my parents. Or if one of them didn't and they're just like got really bad.
That's kind of fucked for the donkey too.
Number one, I wouldn't give a fuck about those kids. Honestly, if you're out here fucking a donkey in lieu of just masturbating, which is just fine. Like, who isn't like, I don't want to use my hand this week. Like, let me just do the absolute most.
Yeah.
Like, who's just like, I want to go like from 0 to 100 real quick.
That's a little.
Like, oh my god.
That's a little disturbing.
It's a lot.
I can't like fathom like the train of thought that has to happen. Like you know.
Like, I don't know.
The psychological.
Just sitting on the curb eating ice cream, being like, man, I want to fuck something. And then you see like a guy and his donkey drive by. And you're just like, light bulb.
I wonder, is you said Morocco?
Mm-hmm.
Is Morocco like a really, like a restrictive, religious situation?
I would assume at least part of it is.
I didn't look into that. That's
but even then,
to where you feel like loophole.
I know, right?
Can't go to hell by fuck a donkey.
Yeah,
or some shit like that. Maybe.
I have no idea, but it was a lot.
That
and when
is
I
a
read
lot.
the article, I was just like, oh wow.
That kind of threw me like.
Yeah, I know. And that was like, I wanted to give you that first because that's like, what the fuck?
Really?
Why? And then my peak of the week can come later. So yeah, that was my chancla this week. Short, sweet, and definitely to the point.
100%.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with that. Okay. I don't want to talk about my chancla yet.
Okay.
Because it might change during the remainder of this episode.
That's
but
fine.
Can we talk about Kesha's new album?
Yes, the fuck we can. I think the fuck we can.
Let's
honestly, my last thing.
What
Like,
noise was that?
Yes, we can. I've listened to it in its entirety.
Ditto. Let's talk about the cover.
Yes.
Butt ass naked in the ocean.
Cutest butt ever.
Cutest butt
Super
ever.
cute little butt.
And then there's like space alien invasion or what?
Yes.
It's like a.
Weave down her ass.
It's like a what? What is going on in the background?
In the background, there's like a
Behind
row
the
of
butt.
UFOs.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
I just saw it like a little glimpse of it, and I didn't pay too much attention to it because I saw a butt and I was like, "Okay, cool, tracks."
It's like a row of UFOs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then like a rainbow and like
Mhm.
the ocean and some shit. Okay.
Yes.
Very cute cover. Very Kesha.
What are your favorite songs? Do you have favorite songs?
I need to look at them because I haven't memorized them. But I need to look at 'em. There's one that I like a lot. I think it comes before Woman. Let 'Em Talk. No. Yeah. Let 'Em Talk.
Mm-hmm.
I like Bastards so much.
Bastards. It's acoustic and it's like I didn't think you could use the word motherfucker in like
And,
a
like,
song that was acoustic and it make like sense like that.
Such a chill way.
Yeah. And I really enjoyed that. It's just such a good album.
Wait, Let 'Em Talk has the Eagles of death metal in it? That's weird. I didn't see that.
Oh,
Let
yeah.
'Em Talk. I like Let 'Em Talk a lot. I don't like him a lot.
Him is like okay.
I think I might have to listen to it a few more times.
It's all right. Him is it's going to be like low key a bop later on.
Hunt You Down is my favorite.
Hunt You Down is really good. I like that song too.
I like Let 'Em Talk and Hunt You Down a lot. Boogie Feet is really cute. Cute is really cute. Old Flames I like, but I think I need to listen to it more.
It wasn't memorable for me, to be honest.
I just like the
Like every song is okay at the very least.
yeah.
There's nothing that I like would skip over. It was not by any means fucking Witness to me. Like
I haven't listened to it.
Katy Perry's Witness is fucking. Don't listen to it.
I
Like
wanna
don't
at
waste
least
your
give it
time
a
on that
shot.
album. It's fucking trash.
Yeah, I don't think I don't know. I liked Change to the Rhythm.
Change the Rhythm was cute and that's about it.
I don't remember Spaceship a lot. Godzilla.
I remember Spaceship. Spaceship made me cry.
Really?
Yes.
I remember you said that about it because I couldn't remember if I was listening to it in order at that point, and I was just like
Spaceship like meant something to me personally. So I like actually like teared up when I listened to it.
I need to hear it. What is
It's
it about?
really good.
Did you look at the lyrics or did you just listen?
Well, I actually know what it's based off of. It's based off of an experience she had in the desert in Nevada, I think, if I'm not mistaken, or at some national park.
Okay.
And apparently what happened at the national park was she was basically, walking around being Kesha. And what she says happened in the story, which honestly I would like to believe her. She says that she saw a lot of UFOs. And she said it was just really weird and I didn't know what to do, so I just kind of stood there and watched them and they went away and then they came back and then they went away.
What?
And the songs, the song is inspired by that experience, but the lyrics are about basically saying, I've never fit in. I've always been ostracized, but I have a strong belief that whoever put me on this earth will come back for me at some point.
What?
Because she says that she feels so ostracized, like an alien.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just like, and I can't, I only have, what's kept me alive this entire time is my belief that, someone is going to come back for me.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And it was just like, coming from like, I don't know, because I've experienced a lot of anxiety in my life because of like, family crap. But it's one of those things where I just like felt I could like relate to it.
It's like, oh shit, I'm not like the only person that thinks like this.
Yeah. So it felt really nice to like just hear someone sing so beautifully. It's a really nice track.
I need to listen to
just
it
about like those kinds of things, and it's just really cute.
I think it had like good momentum. Like it had like a good slow start, a good peak, and then it addressed what it had to address.
Yes.
And then it was just like, okay, by the way, this is my album.
Yeah. So back to my music that I know she like has something for anyone that's interested in her career thus far. And honestly, like for someone who's been gone for what, 4 years? Typically, artists make albums every 5 years. Every year to 2 years, an artist makes an album. So she's missed out on at least 2 to 3.
Yeah.
And coming back to the music scene, coming back to the pop scene where like everyone has 15 minutes to make something of themselves, she's been welcomed back with like open arms.
Well, she has to like, that's the thing is like, she's had her 15 minutes. She needs to follow that up.
Exactly.
With the the responsibility or like the pressure, quote unquote, to like still be Kesha, but be this new Kesha, because the Kesha that you saw before was Dr. Luke's Kesha,
Yes.
not her Kesha.
Yeah, and I actually saw in an interview where she played a hall in Nashville, like a big hall, like kind of like a church hall. And
Okay.
she said, someone was like, you know, I can't wait for you to sing the album because, you know, it really shows off your pipes. And she's like, I know. And she's like, and what she says is, you know, I wrote all the lyrics to those songs, but she's like, but the way you've heard me in like the past prior is the way I was produced.
Yeah.
Meaning, you know, I didn't have complete creative control over how my voice was going to sound on those records, and that's why I never got to hit any notes or, you know, make any riffs. So with this album, she does that, and it's like,
Yeah.
she's really displaying her voice for you to understand what it is she can do with it.
Yeah.
And I think that was really good.
Which from like day one, like, oh god, there was this one song, I think I might have mentioned this before. It's Steven.
Steven, why don't you call me? That one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's that one or
The Herald song.
Yes. And yes, and that's the first time that I heard her like sing, and I was just like, this bitch goes off. Where is this?
And I actually didn't understand the outfits that she was wearing on her press tour until I listened to the album. Because it's very country. It's very country inspired. It's very like Nashville inspired. Because I didn't know this, but she was born in LA and she grew up in Nashville.
Oh really?
Yeah. So it's like, it has a lot of like
Country
Western
flair.
influences.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, but I did have some lyrics pulled up. And from Spaceship, I knew from the start I don't belong in these parts. There's too much hate. There's too much hurt for this heart. Lord knows this planet feels like a hopeless place. Thank God I'm going back home to outer space.
Yeah. Okay,
And,
I remember. That's part of the chorus.
Yeah, and then at the end of it, she has like a little monologue. But the whole song is just about like, you know, oh, I've been living in a lonesome galaxy, but in my dreams I see them come and rescue me. Look up in the sky and then there they'll be. I bet you'll think of me then.
Aww.
Being like, you don't understand who I am and you're going to miss me when I'm gone, essentially.
Yeah.
Which I thought was like so endearing, because she was like, I have the nerve, like it's like basically saying like, I have the nerve to stay,
Yeah.
and like the way you're reacting towards me isn't going to make me like go anywhere.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But
I love Keshan.
I really do too. This album is like it for me.
Like, this is kind of what pisses me off about the music industry the way it is now, because it hasn't evolved with the
Award season only like rewards the most recent too.
Well, not even. That's the thing. It's like it happens like every almost fall, every almost fall, and like a lot of the I just don't feel like the industry has evolved with the way the distribution and artists have evolved, because no one gives a fuck about record sales
Let me
anymore.
say though that Beyonce deserves every fucking Grammy she's ever won, and she's also deserves some of Adele's, and Adele would agree, but she does.
Yeah, I think the only part where I disagree with that is that the writing aspect.
Yeah.
Because I think as an artist and as someone who knows their image, and that's the hard part now, that like an artist is not just their music, it's the whole package. It's the
I love
brand.
when that one year Taylor Swift won, and she was like, and there's gonna be men out there that take take credit for what you do, where she's like referring to Kanye West, but there's like 10 male producers behind her and there's no women on stage.
Yeah.
And Lena Dunham is somewhere like, yes, queen.
Oh god. Oh, no.
But you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I loved that part. It was just like, wow, way to expose yourself, sis. Good job.
It's honestly, like, nobody cares about awards anymore except the
No.
producers. I think like as
Yeah.
far as like producers and
Because once someone wins a Grammy, they get a lot more like clout in the music industry, I think.
well, it's literally like referrals. Like,
Yeah.
people for the most part already know where you are, but if you're like a early time producer and you're putting out the bangers, like
Yeah.
the good albums of the year, or you just worked your ass off and put out a really good album with a really good artist and they push their brand and blah blah blah, you had a good team around you as far as marketing, like people are gonna recognize that, and if you win an award you can just be like, I'm a Grammy award winning producer.
Yeah.
And my skills show that, because it's not easy to do, especially now, because you have to have all this fluff around
Yeah.
the music now. But I just don't think that like award system has changed to accommodate up and coming
No.
artists.
Although
That's
I will
why
say
a lot
that
of people
there
get chipped for it.
That's true. I think Lorde is a good example of someone who has like slipped their way through the cracks though, and like gotten the recognition she deserved, because she got Best New Artist one year, and it was just her on that stage. She was the only person who could take credit for that album.
Yeah.
Like, I'm certain there were like other people involved in like the producing process, but she was the mind behind everything.
Yeah, I think it was all New Zealand producers that were on her.
And they like really let her
album.
set herself up, and they were like, "This is the girl. This is our face. Like, we want this girl to represent us," which I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
Because like usually with someone like I said with Taylor Swift, like there were like 20 people behind her when she wins her Grammys. And it's like, oh, well, you got to gather the whole family up. Get in the van. We're going on stage.
I feel like that's the evolution of like from your first album to your second to your third album, though. You just have more hands involved.
Just a lot more collaboration, I guess.
And you have to, well, just more people know your name.
Yeah.
And more people want to work with you and put their signature on you. But it takes a very strong...
Until it sucks.
Until it sucks, yeah. And we've seen that happen a lot to people where they're just like a shell of a person, and they are the Britney Spears and the Christina Aguileras, you know. And that's not a dig. That's not a dig, because I listened to... I haven't listened to Glory, but I listened to Britney Spears, and I've liked her since the beginning of her career. But now, like, seeing it in hindsight, you're just like, oh, you're just the meat puppet. Okay, yeah. I get it. You know? And it sounds ugly, but, like, she's had a decent career.
Yeah.
But she's never going to be recognized as a true artist that like writes their song. Or even like Beyonce, like even if she doesn't write her songs 100%, she can bring a vision and say, this is what I'm putting out. And she but she has the seniority to really manipulate her environment to be like, you're not putting a blue light on me, we're doing this.
I love that video.
Me too.
Of her just being like, you can't put blue light on black girls, they don't know what they're doing. She
goes back into the control room, she's just like shaking her head.
I can't believe they did this, they just don't know.
And it's true, but like she had to work her way up to that. She's probably been under
really
some blue lights
she before. Had to get hit with some blue lights before she got her own lighting and her own team for it.
Or like there's this one scene in Nicki Minaj's MTV documentary thing,
the pickle juice scene.
The pickle juice, dude, I almost cried. I was just like,
I'm a human being.
And she was still being her character.
Yeah, I know.
She was still being her character to like alleviate, just so she's not like this angry black woman talking about equality. You know, she had to bring the Minaj spin into it, so she had to do that. But like, it still resonated with a lot of people.
I mean, her entire music career, like up until the Pink Print, was like trying to not be the angry black woman.
Yeah.
Have you like, she got that mainstream. That was like the whole point of like Pink Friday and fucking Pink Friday Part 2 with the same album plus 6 songs.
Yeah.
Like, that's like the whole like her career thus far has been the Pink Print. That's been her like best album yet.
Pink Print?
I think so, because the first two like
I like Pink Print, but it was not as good as the first album.
I thought that album was
I just think
trash.
she rapped more. I like it when she raps more.
Yeah, that's true. Although honestly, like, you could just cut up a bunch of her features and put them into one single audio file, and I
can't keep track with her features.
She makes like.
There's a song right now called "Raking Something."
Rake It Up.
I haven't even.
Oh my god!
I've seen videos of it of like some dude.
I'll tell all my hoes. That one.
I don't know.
So good. What does she say? Brought the wraith to China just to race in China. She's so fucking funny. But Rake It Up, honestly, fuck it up. It's so good.
I love that song. Of like people like twerking outside of a car, and this dude just like throwing money, and like someone taking a rake and raking up the money. I was just like, what?
So funny. No, I'll show you a dance video I saw earlier. It's like I'm assuming he has to be gay. Hamilton Evans, he has like a YouTube channel. You know how like dance teachers have YouTube channels and they show like choreographed dances? He has one to just her verse, just like a gay man, just her verse from Rake It Up. And like the chorus for Rake It Up, then followed by her verse. And it's just the dance to that.
I think I know what you're talking about. I haven't seen it, but I saw them now.
It's good. And like he opens it by twerking.
Oh, really?
Just him. And his background dancers didn't realize he was going to do it. So their reactions are like genuine. They're like, oh my God, this bitch. It's really funny. But yeah, no, her verse on Rake It Up is like honestly goals. Like,
I want her new album already.
I'm not gonna say Nicki Minaj is like completely trash, because she's made moves, and honestly, she's like, she paved female rap. She like brought back life to female rap in like the early 2000s, I believe.
For sure.
Yeah, because I mean, nobody was doing it at that time until she did. And then it brought it back to life, because then the Iggy Azaleas and the Miss Banks and then Remy Ma got released, and like, you know, everything kind of built up from her.
I like Azalea Banks until she started talking.
I love what she does.
She has good points, but her delivery sometimes is just like, you don't gotta do all that.
I lost her. I just lost her. I bought Broke with Expensive Taste.
Mm-hmm.
I bought that album because she's talented. She makes good music, but she's just too problematic for me to like want to keep up with. Like, I don't follow her on Twitter. I just wait for it to get released on iTunes, and I'm like, you know, here's $10. Like, do your best. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to do, like, that's one person where I want to like remove myself from her personality and just focus on her work.
Yeah.
Because you have to do that with some artists.
Which, like, it's hard. Yeah. Which is, like, it's hard as a consumer now, where everything is so wrapped into one. It's like a package deal. It's like you have to take. If you, like, I was listening to Eminem on the way over here because I saw his episode of The Defiant Ones on HBO. Have you heard of that? Mm-mm. It's an HBO show that focuses on... I don't like Eminem. There we go. So, and there's probably a really good reason for that. And so I was listening to him on the way over here, and I used to like him a lot when he was a little kid, when like Slim Shady and stuff, all that happened, like up until the Encore album, and then he kind of like went away for a while. But I watched this episode over the weekend of The Defiant Ones, and it focuses on Jimmy Iovine from Interscope Records, Dr. Dre, and him. Well, the episode that I watched focused on him, but it focused on Jimmy, how he grew up, and then how he found Interscope Records. And
Jimmy Iovine is why Azalea Banks is like existing, by the way.
He's the reason her, apparently a lot of people exist.
Yeah,
a lot of people. Dr. Dre and NWA and all of that. Mm-hmm. And then when Dr. Dre started mainly producing and all that stuff, I watched the Eminem stuff and how he discovered him and all that. And so I was listening to him on the way over here, and I was just like actually listening to the words, and I was like, this is kind of, he's saying some fucked up shit.
Yeah,
and like,
he is.
As a little kid, you just think like, oh, he's just saying whatever. And like, whether it's about him reflecting on his past or him like hyper mentioning like what he's gonna do to people and blah blah blah, or just taking like his like imagination,
the bodily torture of his wife, or ex-wife,
like,
I'm sorry,
basically just like stream of consciousness saying what he wishes he could do to some of these people. And
he's
it's
very
like,
that quiet white kid in class.
Yeah, I was listening to that and I was just like, damn, this guy's kind of lucky that he got an outlet to say this.
Yeah,
because a lot of people don't, and he had to he's lucky that he found rap
Dre
and Dre, or that he found the battle scene to where he could take out his anger at a target and just be like, you're a piece of shit and this is why I'm telling you, like blah 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 blah. And then
that's true, using
that as an outlet to, you know, eventually find his way to a studio and let out what he needs to let out. Mm-hmm. But when that was a good thing for him and probably a very healthy therapeutic outlet for him, but then it becomes a problem when all of that comes out of your diary and becomes your entity, because you don't get to be this pretty package anymore. You don't get to be this pretty Beyonce, Britney Spears situation. Goods. You're just a human being. And then people think that
as the public, they're like, what the fuck?
Well, they're like, what the fuck? Because you're saying all this outlandish stuff, but then they're like, oh, that's also wrapped up in like his reality. That's kind of fucked. And they can't ignore it. They can't ignore it like a Britney Spears who's not a person if you look at her from like a musical standpoint.
Because she doesn't talk about her personal life at all in any way, shape, or form. It's always overproduced pop music that allows her to squeal for, you know,
and even some rap rap is like that. Like Nicki, you hear a little bit of Nicki, but you don't hear a lot. No,
she writes more like relatable shit than she does actual like personal stuff.
But relatable to whom?
Just general relatable shit, like relationship crap. Like Pills and Potions was like a relationship song.
I hated that song.
You do?
I don't like it.
I didn't like the video, but I liked the song.
It was just like really repetitive.
It was, but I mean, like, that's the chorus of any song where she sings.
That's like a song that it's like a teaser for the album, but that it didn't have to make the album.
No,
I would have been okay with it.
That could have been a single that just like got like thrown away.
But yeah, I was listening to him on the way over here, and I was like, I get it why there was so much controversy from like the feminist community, and why there was so much pushback for Dr. Dre producing like a white rapper.
Yes.
And why he addresses it so much in the beginning of his career. Yep. But I'm just like, I rather take that any day than someone who's overproduced and doesn't have an outlet for themselves, and someone who is just in it for the image and the lifestyle, and who doesn't really have anybody to be grateful for.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, I rather take someone who's a problematic person who's getting the outlet that they need to say the things that they need to say, even if it's kind of shitty.
Yeah.
Kind of shitty stuff that they're saying, but they will be a human, and it's nice and it sucks. It's kind of just like a pros and cons that they have to do that in the public eye,
Yeah.
or that they're good enough to do it in the public eye.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people don't get famous.
Yeah.
Sorry. I just rather have that as a consumer. Like, I rather have somebody who's of quality and dimension than like some of the musicians that are out there right now that are just like, you're not giving me nothing.
Yeah.
Dude.
I just don't like Eminem.
Yeah.
I've never really been a big fan of him, because when he first came out, he did a lot of like funny rap. And then it went straight to like dark shit, and there was never like an in between. He's never had like a song for me that was like I could have fun to.
Yeah.
It was always like too jokey or silly or way too dark, and I can't relate to him.
Yeah.
He's really I have problems relating to artists that I can't like feel for, and I don't feel for him.
Yeah.
But like personal taste.
Yeah.
That like leads up to like me wanting to relate to the artists that I listen to, which you don't always have to.
Yeah.
So.
Very, very true.
Yeah.
Last episode we mentioned about Don't Yuck My Yum.
Yeah, exactly.
We mentioned that, and I think a lot of people have like especially when it comes to music and movies.
Yeah.
I feel they have like a very like superiority complex where
Yes.
they're just like, the music that I listen to is good, and I only listen to quality music, and your music is garbage because of X, Y, and Z. And I'm just like, first of all, you need to shit it. Second of all, I like what I like.
Yeah, exactly.
Leave me alone.
I know what you mean.
What would you say is your favorite album of 2017 so far?
Of 2017?
Released in 2017.
Released in 2017?
Don't get it twisted. Or, no, just whatever. Fuck it.
Lemonade got
Both.
released last year, so...
Yeah. I love Lemonade.
Who doesn't love Lemonade?
I listened to it for a year straight.
I've still listened to it. I still go back to it, and I'm like, she did that. She did that.
You need to see her live.
I
When she
do.
gets back on the road.
I'll fucking die if I see her live now. I can't see her live because I'm not ready to die yet.
You won't die. You'll be fine.
But
You'll be fine. If you faint, I'll just fan you.
I'm gonna be
I'll
that
take a
person
fan.
in like the tour videos where like security is carrying them off because they're like crying and overheated and dehydrated and just like upset that she
I
like.
can't afford to be close enough to die.
I'll make myself afford to be close enough to die. No, my favorite album of 2017 was Ali X's
Ali and
Collection
AJ?
2.
I liked Ali and AJ's album from 2004.
But yeah, have you ever heard of Ali X?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I don't remember what song I've heard. I've
She
heard
makes-
like a song.
She makes bops. She's like she writes dark pop.
Dark pop.
Yeah, like the album itself that she wrote this year was about like relationships and like toxic relationships.
Ooh.
Like she has a song called Simon Says, and it's about like Simon is the character and whatever he says she does.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cute. It's really dark. Simon says I'm the best, like stuff like that. It's really weird. I think you would like it if you
You know
listen
who
to it.
I've always wanted to get into, and I just haven't. It's the Carly Rae Jepsen syndrome, where I was just like, yeah, I know I have to listen to that, but later. Is Melanie Martinez. Do you like her? I like.
She's a double-edged sword for me for a lot of reasons.
I've heard a few of her songs, and they weren't awful. They're like playtime and weird. Which I kind of don't
very,
like the playtime.
She had like the theme for this album was like babies, like baby childhood stuff like that, and it comes
Wait,
off
she
like
has more than one album?
well, she has she has an
Crybaby.
EP, and then she has I think it's called Crybaby.
Yeah, that's what I've
And
seen.
yeah, no, so she plays a character in the album that she has out, Crybaby. I think that's what it's called, right?
Yeah.
So I've listened to the album in its entirety, and it's too cutesy. It's too it comes off very like fetishized baby-ish culture.
And I don't like that.
I don't like it either. I'm not a fan. And
Just say what you have to say. This is what I don't like. It's like, I know I touched on like Eminem, and like he had his Slim Shady like gimmicky moments,
Yeah.
but like he was a real person behind that. If Melanie Martinez is not a real person behind her little baby Lolita situation,
she's not, because she reminds me of like every girl from San Antonio.
But like, what?
She's like reminds me of every girl from like like the reformed scene kids like scene from San Antonio. Or like just, you know what I mean, those like indie girls. I love feminism, and I support other women, and I love Mexican food. Like it's like those.
Are you describing me, Miguel?
No, no. Like the girls that overdo it. You know what I mean? Like the girls that are like, no, men ain't shit. Blah 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 blah.
Oh,
those types.
Yeah.
Like
it's just like you took it a step too far.
She reminds me of she reminds me of those types, and she's just like.
The stank face right now. I hope you guys are watching this on YouTube because this is the episode for stank face.
If you listen to her, don't watch her music videos until after you've already listened to the album, so you know which songs you like. Because if you watch the music videos, it ruins it for me. There's like she's always like in like a childish situation, like she's in a high chair singing, and then suddenly she has a knife, or she's in like a playpen flirting with a boy. It's like
kind of weird.
It's very weird. It's very like I'm not into that aesthetic for that she like puts up, and she's very into it, so she like dedicates a lot of time to it.
Have you seen any of her like interviews? Like,
yes, I have, and she does not act like that at all.
No, but does she address it? Like, why?
No.
Why?
Not that I know of. She may have, and like her stands may like be like all over it, but
her stands.
You know what I mean?
I love that, by the way.
Those like 12 and 13-year-olds that parents let have access to Twitter, like you know what I mean, like
that take them to
the ones
their
that like ride or die for her.
Yeah.
Like they probably get it. I don't, and that's fine. Like I don't need to. It's not for me. Yeah. But if you listen to the album, it has like just a lot of relationship themes. Mm-hmm. And like it. Like from topic actually Dollhouse isn't about relationships, it's about having like a broken family, but she writes about a lot of different themes, and the album itself is good, but once you like get into like the aesthetics of it, it's like gross.
It's like icky.
It's just gross. It's gross to me. Like that's not something I find cool. Like I don't look at babies and I'm like, oh my god, I want to like emulate that in music video. I want to be the baby. Like ugh. Yeah. It reminds me, whenever I see the music videos, I can't help but think of that scene from Girls where Jessie yells at her dad, I'm the child. Like that's what it reminds me of. I can't get over that. Just her sitting on the swing set yelling at her dad. Like, oh my god.
I haven't gone into her, and I see what you mean by that. It's just like I don't like gimmicky music. It's just like Weird Al's already there.
The music isn't gimmicky. She is.
The music tempo wise is kind of gimmicky, but like like as far as it like pushing the like the pop buttons.
I mean, it's not like through a baby monitor, but
yeah, that would be really weird.
That would be too gimmicky. That would be too much for me.
But I just don't think like for the purpose of the artist, like if you I get it that you want to come in, you want to make the biggest splash, and the way to make the biggest splash is if you're
she wasn't like that on The Voice either.
She's on The Voice?
She was on The Voice. That's how she like started. She like didn't get picked to be like whatever the fuck you get out of The Voice. Yeah. Whatever fucking Kelly Rowland decides you can have. And she didn't make it there. She went through a couple rounds, and then they were like, we don't know what to do with this bitch. So they like let her on her own, and someone else produced her.
Yeah.
I don't like her. I don't like her. Like her aesthetic is gross to me.
I just don't think it shows any longevity. It just shows that you want.
She hasn't put out anything since.
Yeah. What was that? 2015.
Yeah. And I bet you it's because it's hard for her to work with whatever like shit she's already set up for herself.
Like, and then at that point, like you have to become like a Katy Perry. You have to go after gimmick after gimmick after gimmick, and then it's just like then you're just that.
You mean a Bonnie McKee?
And you can't. I don't know who Bonnie McKee is.
The one who writes all of Katy Perry's good songs.
Oh really?
Bonnie McKee didn't participate very much on
Witness.
Or at all on Witness, and that's probably why I don't fucking like it. Is because it's trash, and Bonnie McKee makes good ass music. Bonnie McKee makes that like Wild at Heart type music. You know what I mean? Like you know that song American Girl that they played in Forever 21, where it's if you listen to it like the wrong way with the wrong mindset, it comes across as like obnoxious American girls in foreign countries. But she makes music like that. So some examples of Bonnie McKee's songs that she's written: California Girls, Teenage Dream, Last Friday Night, Part of Me, Wide Awake, Roar. She wrote Tayo Cruz's Dynamite. She wrote Hold It Against Me by Britney Spears. She wrote Come On by Kesha. Ooh. And she has also written for Cher, Christina Aguilera, Kelly Clarkson, and Adam Lambert.
Good damn, girl. I don't know.
Like the Grammys, that's why her set was so busy to distract from her awful singing.
The dance moves, I can't.
I won't. You can't make me.
I can't. There was one. It wasn't the Grammys. It was the something awards. They were like not BET Awards. They wouldn't do that. American something awards.
American Music Awards.
American Music Awards, where she was like on a stage and she was doing Bon Appetit. with the dudes. And
Bon appetit, baby. I actually like that song, but only because of Migos.
and I think they were on there and they were doing the whole rap part, like in the smack in the middle of the song, and she was like dancing, and it was just so cringy. It was just like a soccer mom on stage.
It's
dancing.
like when Missy Elliott came out for the Super Bowl for her, which honestly was like the highlight of her Super Bowl performance. Was like, Missy is back.
Yeah.
Like everyone freaked the fuck out. Like I honestly, like, people cheered harder for Missy than they did for her. They were like, thank God someone came out with you, girl, because there was no reason for you to be here.
How did you feel? I know this is like forever ago. I think it was like February. How did you feel about the Lady Gaga Super Bowl performance? The props.
The jump.
So many props.
She
What was
jumps
the
off
meme? What was the meme? It was like
if all your friends jumped off a bridge, would you?
There were so many memes. I love that. I liked it a lot, but there was way too many props. She was just she threw a football. She had a disco stick. She had the.
You know what I'm not over?
She changed her dress.
Has Beyonce performed at the Super Bowl twice now?
Yes.
The first time she performed
By herself.
No, when she had Destiny's Child come out.
Oh yes.
Just for like a brief moment, and Michelle like was not expecting to be thrown out on stage like that. Did you see that?
She was
just like when they like catapulted her up, like Kelly Rowland like popped up and like hit her stance, and then Michelle was like in a ball in the air, just like she's too lanky for that. They can't do that to her.
She went like
she's like a newborn giraffe.
Michelle, he said it. I didn't. I know when to keep my mouth shut. She was very thin.
Yes. And she just, the way they threw her in the air like that, I was like, poor thing.
You say like they catapulted her.
You need to watch that performance. It'll be like, because Kelly came out like.
I watch it every 2 weeks, Miguel.
Kelly came out like perfectly, like the way they were, like, it's like they didn't tell her it was going to happen. Like Beyonce was like, no, you know, it'll be a gag if we just let Kelly know, if let my girl Kelly know.
Yeah, just stand here.
They were like, Kelly, you're about to be shot up in 3, 2, 1. Go, Michelle. Like, it's like they just didn't tell her, and she just, we'll watch it after this so you can see what I mean.
I love that's what her concert is like.
Just
you
antics.
You need to go to her whenever she's back on tour. We're going.
Okay, fine.
Because it's fucking amazing.
It wasn't that expensive either when you went, was it?
No, but I didn't get the pit seats. Like,
well, I mean, we don't need to be in a pit. She has those giant, like, honestly, she thinks of everyone who goes because she has those giant ass TVs.
Yeah. I kind of wish I didn't go to the. I love that I went to the Lemonade one because it was a really good album. But
so
like,
jealous that you went to that.
I kind of wish I went to.
Now I'll only get to ever see Formation.
The Beyonce one, just like
Miss Carter?
Yeah.
Was it the Miss Carter World Tour?
Yeah, it was. Then she did on the run.
Or she did self-titled.
Yeah, that just the whatever fucking tour she was on for that album, not with Jay-Z because I don't fucks with that. But I saw that tour. They did an HBO special for it, and it was really good too. But there was just like, there's too much Jay-Z. I know Beyonce. But that album was just such a good album, and that was like her first album where she was like her solo album where she was just like, Beyonce, what are you doing?
I know.
Beyonce.
I can't wait till I get home so you can tear that cherry out. Like, she's talking about eating pussy. She's talking about getting her pussy ate. Go off, sis. Thank you. Like, I was so excited about that.
Yeah. There's only one song that I don't like, and obviously it was the song that she played from that album in its entirety, because that's the sucky part. It's just like, she can't play her whole Rocket. It's too dirty.
Let me sit this ass.
I can't.
I love that song.
I can't. It makes me all.
That song made me.
It makes the.
I got my jush to that song every day on my way to work at JCPenney.
I can't.
I was like, I couldn't wait to get paid that week when the album came out because I was like, oh, it's about to be lit on the bus.
You sing it to your couch. Let me sit.
I say it every day before I sit down at work.
I can't. I skip it every time.
You know what song I didn't like because it wasn't as long as I needed it to be?
What?
Beyonce.
Yes.
I was like, why didn't you just like fire Chanel Iman and like pay for the rest of it to be like producing the rest of the song? Like, oh my God, just finish it. And then that album came out and she was like, oh, but I didn't put 7-Eleven on, so I'll just make it like an afterthought.
Yeah.
She like released the album and then she was like, oh, and I guess I'll make a deluxe and I guess I'll just put all these other songs that I was gonna release on it. And then 7-Eleven and I was like, are you fucking serious? The music video was her and her background dancers just having a sleepover.
Yeah.
I can't with Beyonce.
I like how this turned into the Beyonce podcast, like 100%.
I just have a lot of feelings about Beyonce.
I just have a lot of feelings. Have you seen she was like all over her Instagrams.
She can do no
looking
wrong.
all cute.
With the Fila shirt,
Yeah.
with her Fila shirt and her ripped up jeans with half of her ass hanging out.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I was like, I don't look like that now. You had 3 babies.
I know.
Fuck off.
I was like, what the fuck does she do?
Everything.
I know. Like if she got plastic surgery, like money well spent, sis. Like, oh my god, she looks great.
Yeah.
And like, I just can't. I can't.
There's like 25 pairs of stockings under that.
No, you can see her belly button. Like it was just her. That was 100% her. And the shorts were a little too big. And it was like, she's that thin now.
I don't know. She looks pretty.
Like these are my fat shorts.
She looks pretty. She looks pretty small.
She does. I love
like
her.
when you like on the stage, she looks pretty like petite.
Mm-hmm.
Like short.
That's fine.
But it was that tour was so good.
I bet you it was.
She did the Ring the Alarm. She did like genres of.
That's upsetting because I love
tour.
Ring the Alarm.
It was such a good song. I was
Ring
like,
the Alarm
I
was like my coming out
it.
anthem.
Really?
Yes. I'm not even kidding.
What?
Don't laugh at me.
I like it. I appreciate it.
I
like
it.
I think she did like an MTV VMAs situation where she did that song.
And she came out on the platform. The platform was like super tall. Yeah. And she did like the lowrider thing.
Yes.
And I was like, this bitch is getting it so low. I was in like what 6th, 7th grade when that came out. We were like, I was like,
so good.
I was out at this point, and I was like, because I was watching with my sisters, and I was like,
people can do this.
I want to dip it low like Beyonce. Like I wanted to go
so
the fuck off so bad when that song came out.
Did you ever try to learn the choreography with the Single Ladies? Tell me the truth, Miguel. You're just gonna ask me the question again?
No, because you know the answer to that. I'm not gonna answer.
Everybody.
I shouldn't have to answer that question. In the year of our Lord 2017, Nancy. Who the fuck didn't?
The answer is yes.
Who the fuck didn't?
The answer is always yes. Yeah. Did you question though?
Every Uber driver I've ever had has probably done that.
Is there a recording of it though?
No. I'm not going to incriminate myself like that. I'm a Virgo.
I'm a Virgo.
What is Jennifer Rose like? I'm a Virgo.
I'm a Virgo.
I'm a Virgo.
Virgang.
I'm a Virgay. I'm a Virgo.
Virgay. No, she says her Virgang for all the Virgos in her gang of Virgos. A Virgang.
Virgang.
What can you tell me about myself since I'm a Scorpio besides that I'm horny and secretive?
Because what else is there to know about you?
I mean, I ain't so secretive, but that's it.
You're not. You know how to keep a secret.
Yeah, but people have to give me a disclaimer. It's like, you ain't telling no bitch.
You can't tell anyone this, Nancy, and you're like, okay, fine, the vault's closed.
Okay. I won't tell the 2 people that I will tell everything to, but that's it. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess they can do without this information.
Yeah, but
tell me something.
Oh my god, I do
How
that
am I gonna die?
No, with Virgo, I know Virgo because I am one.
Yeah.
I know that we're a good pairing, like friendship wise.
Oh really?
Yeah.
There's this book that one of
How
a
dare
friend.
you know I don't read.
Me either.
You know,
but I just read the 2 chapters that involved me.
Oh, same.
Because I had a boyfriend at the time, and well, by that sentence we know how that went. I had a boyfriend at the time who was Leo, and the book was like a love signs and compatibility situation, and it had all the signs matched up with all the signs male and female. So if I was like female Scorpion and male Scorpio, sorry,
just a bug.
and a male Virgo,
yeah.
It would tell you the compatibility, what struggles you're gonna have in the relationship, blah, blah, blah,
cool.
blah, blah, and then like the pros and the cons basically, and it would have like 2 pages on it, and then it would flip it, and it would do Virgo female and a Scorpio male, and it would tell you the compatibility, blah blah blah, according to that. And it was a fucking thick ass book, and I read.
I bet it was.
I read the I felt so shady doing it because the guy that I was dating at the time, I read ours, and then the guy who I had tried dating and still kind of was interested in,
Oh my god,
was kind of like in the back burner. I read those for them, and I was just like, my odds are better here. Let me do that instead. Well, I mean, that wasn't the deciding factor, but I was just I looked at
it was coming up Millhouse
I
for
read
you.
I read the chapter. All I'm gonna say is I read the chapter, and the odds were looking better over there.
That's fine.
Yeah,
it's understandable.
But a lot of it made sense.
What is Shane?
I have no fucking idea. April 20th.
I don't know. I'm not.
420.
I'm not that gay.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. 420. I think it's like a Taurus.
It looks like he's a Taurus.
Taurus.
He's the first day of Taurus.
Ooh, I wonder what our compatibility is.
I wonder if we're gonna be animal.
Scorpio, female.
I thought you were gonna say Scorpio semen.
Male.
It's like what?
Male Taurus. Compatibility.
When is your birthday?
November 4th.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're like right in the midst. I'm the first day of Virgo.
I'm on the cusp.
Mark's a Virgo too, and honestly, it's so lit.
Really?
Yeah, because Virgos dating Virgos, it's like a perfectionist dating a perfectionist, and you both have the same expectations all the time.
Whoa.
So it's like he like we have no problem being candid with each other, because he's never lied about anything serious, and vice versa. And I'm an open book. I have nothing to hide.
Yeah.
So he has been the same way with me, and he's just really candid with me. And if I ever like needed help, he'd always be able to like give me honest information. Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, he's very good at that, and I am too. So it's like, and I have no problem saying like I'm good at being honest, because I honestly am.
And
I'm
humble.
so humble. It's so crazy.
I'm
always told how humble I am.
Taurus and Scorpio are opposite zodiac signs. I'm over it. We're getting divorced. Yeah, that really is all I need to know. I'm over it. So as soon as Miguel was just like, I don't want my chocolate to be so political, and I was just like, well, fuck, because some shit done just happened.
I mean, I'm fine with yours.
Over in Charlotte.
Oh.
And so we'll just say that the news has covered that enough. But that happened. And I'm talking about something that I just saw on the internet, because I really didn't put that much thought into my chocolate.
If it was what I just saw, I think I know what you're talking about.
Really? Okay, so it's basically the Sephora employee accused of racial profiling, and I'm gonna try to. I just want to watch it because I haven't seen it with the audio, so I've just seen it with like the subtitles and stuff.
I hate watching stuff like this.
I don't know the context of the situation, so I just want to see what kind of dumb shit this bitch says. So I'm gonna watch it, and hopefully these guys don't have too much to say. Wow. Okay, so context. So you've seen as much as I've seen. So like, isn't that just so cringeworthy? So
I don't like watching videos like that, because it's just like you're talking to a fucking bleached wall. Like, ugh.
yeah. So
I don't have time for her and her thin ass hair. Like,
so,
I don't.
So the context, I think, because all the videos that I saw were all chopped up and whatever.
The real reaction videos.
Yeah, basically.
Which honestly, get your coin, y'all. Have fun.
Do whatever you want, as long as you don't get copyright infringement. Apparently, there were these two black girls in shopping at Sephora, and they were profiled and set aside. I don't know how the Sephora policy works. I've never done retail, but
well, I only ever worked with Sephora as a JCPenney employee, so I'm not entirely sure if it's the same process or not. Because what we did in Sephora and the rest of the store was you had to call LP, which is loss prevention, and then loss prevention would follow you around. You wouldn't. It's not our job as employees
to be like, what are you doing with it?
And I was told it's not your job to do that, because we have someone whose job it is to do that, and if you do their job, then you're taking that opportunity away from them.
Yeah.
It's a very job opportunity type of place. They create jobs over there.
Yeah.
So loss prevention was the one who followed the person around.
And they didn't look like any
whatever.
Sort of,
yellow, purple, white, gray. They don't care.
They didn't look like authority figures. They just look like.
They just look like civilians. Like they look like you and me.
Okay.
Except way less suspect. Like if somebody saw me following them around, they'd probably think something.
Yeah.
But if somebody saw you just like walking around touching dresses and like playing with stuff like from afar, I think there's like a distance that they recommend that you stay from the person until it's time for you to approach them.
Interesting.
Because you can't approach somebody while you're in the store, but you can approach them as they approach and exit. And you can tell their intention is to leave the store with the product, and then you can approach them.
Wow. Okay, so these girls apparently were like, they looked like they were set aside, or I don't know if like the
One of them was
said
probably approached, and the other was probably just like, "Oh, here the fuck we go."
Yeah.
Because the other one was chilling at the makeup station.
Yeah, and they were accusing the employee of racially profiling.
Which honestly, if you see the employee's reaction and what she had to fucking say, yes, she was. Like, bitch, she was guilty.
What did she say?
Charged.
She was like, she did a non-apology. She's like, I'm so sorry you guys feel that way, but that wasn't my intention.
I would never intentionally do that to one of you guys.
To you guys, yeah.
You guys, there's just two girls here.
And
what about, how wouldn't you just make a general statement like anyone? I would never do that to anyone. Like, that's a... Like,
that's the thing, it's just like, it's...
But, you know what, she...
And then she was like, I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm also from the hood. And
The
I'm
hood.
just like...
It's like, girl, you don't know what the fuck side of town they're from.
Yeah.
And she's just like making that
she's just like digging
God.
with every line
And
that
I
she
have
says.
tons of black... She said everything a white person shouldn't say to a black person when they're being accused of, like, racist shit.
What was the thing that we talked about last episode? Not last episode, but the episode before, episode 4, where she's like, virtue signaling. That she
was trying to get them in them good graces. That was virtue signaling.
Yeah. Wow. My chancla was virtue signaling, and it was this chick from Sephora. I wonder what, because of like situations.
Your Instagram is shut the fuck down.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. I was like, I wonder what like repercussions on situations like this that seem minor but go viral.
That Sephora looked like it was in a JCPenney as well.
It looked like it was.
It did not look like a standalone store.
It was too small.
Yeah.
The walls were too close. But I wonder like what happened. Like I wonder what happened to her. Like I wonder if she's been like let go, or if she's taking a break.
Let's find out. I'm like really good at Googling.
I wonder because now I feel like there's so many like repercussions to people that make. That seems like an everyday mistake.
Yeah.
But like I feel like people take it really, really far to where they're like, oh, this person is like, yeah, she might have had tinges of or like slight inclinations of like profiling if she did do what they were accusing her of doing.
Yeah.
If she did approach them, which is also like one, probably not her job to approach anybody if they think that they're suspect for stealing something.
Yep.
2, if she was actually racially profiling them, which everything that she said did not help her one bit. Or 3, if she was just stupid. But like like being stupid now is like not like a forgivable situation. Like people will blast you. Like they'll put your video on social media, your face is all over it, you know, and it affects your life. But like people don't recognize that everyday people's lives are affected by what you say and how you treat them.
Yep. I'm sorry you guys felt that way. I would never intentionally do that to you guys.
Yeah. And it's just like people have to navigate those spaces every day where they're just like targeted.
Yeah.
Targeted and accused and questioned over something like, dude, I'm just fucking here to buy Kat Von D lipstick, dude. Like, shut
I
the
love
fuck
the
up.
girl's response. That doesn't justify it. That doesn't make it okay.
Yeah.
Saying that you have black friends doesn't help.
Yeah. And they like obviously knew what they were talking about. Like they weren't just there taking it like being all crazy. Like no, I didn't do it. Like just let me go, blah blah blah, or anything like that. They were actually trying to have a conversation with her. She was digging herself really, really.
Oh, here we go.
Really
Sephora
deep.
did respond to her.
Ooh.
We're so sorry for your experience. Can you please send us a DM with the exact Sephora store you visited? So, old girl
They're
is.
trying to track her down.
Old girl's gone.
Yeah.
You know she's fucking gone. And you know this girl got her a good ass gift card. Because I will say I have a sister who was
Beauty
profiled.
insider points.
Yeah, no, I have a sister who was profiled as like lower income. At there's a Bells over there.
There's like categories to this.
Yes. So someone, my sister literally just walked around a Bells, and she was she thinks it was because of how she was dressed. She walked in and she was wearing like, you know, going out. She was just looking at like makeup, and then she wanted to smell something because she knew that this Bells had that scent. So she was like, I want to go smell it before I think about buying it.
Mm-hmm.
So she basically had someone come up to her as she was leaving the store and say, where is it? And she was like, where's what? I'm sorry, what? And they're like, my eyeliner. And she starts crying because she doesn't know how to react. She doesn't understand what's going on. And she like knows she's innocent, but she's like, it's never happened to her before.
Yeah.
So she starts crying, and security comes and they check, like, it's so...
And then she turns out to be Selena and all her fans come and greet her.
Oh my god.
The clapback of the fucking decade.
We don't need the dress. But no, it's funny. what happens is security comes and they check her bag right there at the door, in front of everyone who's just purchasing things and leaving.
That's unnecessary.
So like she's accused of stealing in front of like a register where it was the only register open. It was like full line, like 6 people were in that line, and she's just standing there while like a guy's rummaging through her bag. And it was a big bag, so like he's just going through her bag, emptying it out, looking at stuff. And it's all hers. It's all makeup that she's purchased at like other stores.
Yeah.
And she's crying. She's humiliated, and she was with, I think she was with my mom or my other sister.
Yeah.
And thankfully, she stood up for her. It was either my mom or I think it was my mom. My mom was like, "Where the fuck is your manager? Are you the manager on duty? What's your general manager's name?"
Dang.
Like my mom was like taking names.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, well, if you want to file a complaint, then you're gonna have to come back tomorrow." And she was like, "It's
my ass.
You bet the fuck I will. You better give me someone's number now." So she got someone's number, called that number, came back the next day, and she brought my sister with her. And my sister was like, when it comes to confrontation in my family, like if my mom's trying to like set the record straight with like someone outside of our family and like accusatory type of thing, she's like, she brings us with her, and she makes us tell the truth because we just tell the truth. That's how we are.
Yeah.
And she makes my sister explain what's going on to the general manager, and the general manager, she cries again.
Of course,
because
that's embarrassing.
She does, yeah, it's a scarring moment, and she hasn't gone to that bell since. And I always go in there and
Did she ever get her perfume? Is there a silver line?
Let me get to
Okay.
this. So she basically tells the manager her story. He's like, "I'm so sorry. What were you coming in for?" And she's like, "I was trying to smell the Ralph Lauren perfume." She left with the full-size version of it for free. They comped one for her and gave it to her. Yeah. Because the manager felt bad.
Yeah.
And he was like, "There was no reason for this employee to do that to you. We're so sorry. I can't apologize enough. I know what you went through yesterday. So, boom, here you go."
Dude, I would 100% rather have been taken back to like shady-ass room, like just whatever.
Yeah. No, they did it right
so
there in front of her.
ugly.
And that's protocol. You're supposed to take them back somewhere. You're not supposed to do that right in front of everyone.
Yeah.
Because if you're wrong,
And it looks bad on the store.
you can get sued for damages that way.
Really?
You can get sued for emotional damages, distress. Like, what if that's someone with anxiety, you know what I mean, and they have a panic attack in your fucking store?
Yeah.
That's what goes on. So, stuff like that can get real iffy. And thankfully she didn't have one, because she's not one of us that has, like, super bad anxiety. But she was just embarrassed that it made her cry. So the manager wanted to make good, and, peace offering was the perfume that she came in to look at. She should have been petty and been like, "And I want whatever makeup on it." And he said, "I stole."
Yeah.
I would have done that. I would have been like, "I want a full beat, and I want the products to go with it." Girl, thank you. Do y'all give haircuts here like Ulta does? Like, I would have done the most. But thankfully it wasn't me.
Wow, and she hasn't gone back. She's like, "Fuck them." Wow.
She's like, "Fuck that." Well, because she has kids now, and she can't be dealing with that kind of bullshit anymore.
Yeah. that's
She
true.
she has
How
her
long
Target
ago
card
was
and
this?
she minds her business. That was at least 9 years ago. It was when that Bell's first opened.
I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't know. I don't think I've ever been inside a Bell's. I thought they sold like.
You're not missing much.
Yeah.
It's like, if you ever wondered how, if you ever wanted to step into 2008 and like buy like nothing but Dickies and polo shoes,
Polo
and like
shoes.
and like Clinique makeup that oxidizes,
Yeah.
like go for it.
Go for it. It's all yours.
I mean, you can do that in an Ulta and also get something that you actually like. But
Yeah,
if
that's
you want to go to Bell's and just ruin your life and your wallet, go.
Get
By
yourself
all
the new
means.
Maybelline highlighter.
Yeah. But all
Wow.
that highlighter. So nice.
Let me see. Let me see your face. You're glowing. You got
I'm
that
just
morning.
sweaty.
You got that morning sickness glow.
Oh. You look so.
That's what I'm.
You look so cunt when you're like throwing up.
What does Trixie say? I felt so fish. Before I go on stage, I have to change my rag.
From fucking chlamydia? Oh my god.
So
I was a
disgusting.
fish. Every time I had to go on stage to change my rag.
Yeah, I hate it. Okay, so what is your peak of the week? So I can think of
Okay.
mine real quick.
My peak of the week goes by the name of Courtney Elizabeth. Court E Liz, with 2 Z's, 1 on YouTube. She's a recovering YouTube makeup artist.
What?
She's recovering from a brain surgery.
Oh, okay.
So she had a tumor on her brain, and she's recovering from that, and also just went through chemotherapy
What?
because they found the tumor to have like cancerous traits to it. So her channel, like, she has videos on her channel. She's a school teacher too, so she had to leave like her school. She's an angel among angels.
Aww.
And I stumbled onto her channel like a couple weeks ago, and I didn't think much of it because I couldn't make much sense of it because I didn't know the context. But then if you go look at her videos, she has like quite a few videos before she had a random announcement that she has like a fucking mass in her brain, like on her brain holding her back from doing stuff. I think because she like felt really sick and she just like couldn't think straight. Like it was affecting her thoughts.
Yeah.
Like
Did she say what part of the brain?
I don't remember, but I do know that she, in the process of getting her brain surgery, she forgot how to do certain things. Like if you put her on a bike, she'd have to relearn it. And the cruel part of it is she knows that she knew how to do it prior.
Oh no!
So
she's just like in that situation.
Yeah, and I mean, bless her fucking heart, this woman. I don't even know the full story. I just know what I've watched. She's gone through chemo, so she's like balding on one side of her head, and she covers it up pretty well. You can't really tell too much unless you like look really hard. And she has like that like makeup guru background with like the sequin wall.
Yeah.
It's like super cute, but the context of like all of her videos is she'll do like an update video saying, "Oh, I did this," and she'll have videos of her like at her appointments like relearning shapes and writing right and just remembering certain words because. During the filming of her videos, and she edits them. She edits pretty heavily, but she leaves certain parts in for you to understand. Like it's hard for her to find words because she's like, "Oh, what's that word? Where do you like pick something up and hold it? Carrying." Like she'll do stuff like that in her videos,
Wow.
and she does it a lot. And she'll just she talks like she'll say burblary and like she just messes up her words.
Mm-hmm.
So. It's very interesting to see her go through the recovery process and film makeup tutorials.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, and she's obviously she's having a hard time. She has anxiety and depression from it. It's caused like a lot of strife in her life because she's had to step away from her job. She's had to not only alienate herself to go through medical treatments, but she's gone through 2 different types of medical treatments, brain surgery and chemotherapy.
Oh, so she did have the surgery.
Yeah, she already had the surgery, and she showed the scar in one of her videos because they shaved the back of her head for it. And it's just like such an ordeal, and to think that she goes through that and then this is what she finds to be like the rewarding aspect of it. She's like, this is what keeps me grounded, this is what keeps me from giving up, and it's making videos for like the people who watch her, because every time you look to the comments of her videos, Nancy, it's just everyone being like, "You're sounding so good, look at all the progress you're making, oh my gosh, you're doing so well," and it makes me want to fucking cry because you're like, you're doing amazing, sweetie.
Yeah.
Like, so much of that. Like, she's doing great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, she's doing amazing, sweetie.
How long? I feel like I've heard of her. She's been doing this for a while, no?
I'm not
like,
sure.
At least you.
I haven't watched all of her videos. I've just watched, like, a few. I think I subscribed to her, like, this week.
Mm-hmm.
So I, like, because every time I watched a video, it, like, would go away off of my recommenders because YouTube's, like, super fucked right now.
Yeah.
And, one of them popped up recently, and I was like, fucking subscribe! And I could go back and look at stuff, because she has, like, announcement videos where she'll, like, do her makeup and try to talk about things, and she's like, and there's one where she actually says, you guys don't see how many, like, things I have to edit when I edit these videos. It's very hard for me to find the words to do things sometimes, and, even after I figure out a word, I can still lose it.
Yeah, I can just imagine how hard it is to, like, go back and see yourself, because you have to edit yourself, and go back and see yourself, and, like, you're just, like, fucking up, and if you're like not even aware of it, like, oh.
I know. No, she's aware of it. That's the worst part.
Yeah.
It gives her anxiety because she's like, will I ever grasp this again?
Yeah.
Will I ever have like, it's interesting to see her read stuff because she's like, I know I'm a teacher. Yeah. I know these words. Why can't I get them?
And like from the example you gave, it was just like a very simple, like rudimentary word.
Yes. Like little puzzles.
It's not like a big ass word that's obscure. It's just like a small.
Or they have her do like word association games. You should watch her videos because I think she's worthwhile.
I'm gonna cry.
You won't, because it's very educational and you'll get to see what a person goes through to like do that type of stuff. Like do you know Charles Trippy?
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like what he went through, but she's doing that with chemotherapy on top of it. I think he went through that too, actually. Yeah, so I think it can be common if you're going through like a brain tumor situation.
Yeah.
But she's doing the same thing, and it's just like, she has a video where she talks about like, today was, last week was my last week working at school. I said goodbye to all my kids, and she's like, I let them know it's gonna be a while before you see me again. Hopefully you're all at this school, in a year or two when I come back. Because you have to take time off to do these things.
Yeah.
You can't like.
You can't
continue to go to
just,
work.
especially with the what grade did she teach?
Little kids.
Little kids. Yeah, you need so much fucking energy. I don't know how people do it.
Yeah, me either. But she fucking did it, and she's making moves. You can tell she's like really trying, and like the simplest things, like they had her do like multiplication on one thing, and she like shows like she brings her work back of like what the doctors make her do in her testing to see if she's getting better, and she's just like, and I did it, and I was so excited, and I didn't pass any of the other tests that they gave me, but I knew my multiplication. Like just cute little stuff, and she's so endearing, and she's just a fighter.
That's really sweet.
Yeah, and that's why she's my pick of the week.
That's really, really sweet.
And for anyone interested in watching it, if you happen to watch us, it's going to be Courteliz1 on YouTube. Her name is Courtney Elizabeth.
I'll make sure to put a link in the description.
Yeah, super good. And she's part of the makeup community on YouTube.
Yeah, I think that's so cool.
And honestly, they need to sign her the fuck up for PR, because I would love to see her participate in like sponsored videos.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, health insurance covers one thing, but like it doesn't cover everything. Oh yeah, there's a video where she like because you know she's balding on the back, so she gets a wig, and it's such a nice wig. It's so nice, and everyone's so happy for her. They're like, "Yes, girl, you look so good in your wig. Yes, ma'am." And I was just like, man, I was so happy for her. She seems like such a nice person.
And just to have like the energy, like I feel like it would be in that situation so easy to get down on yourself.
And she talks about that. She's had to recently start going to therapy.
Really?
To like have someone to talk to about it. And she mentions in the video, she's like, and they ask me, you know, do you have any hobbies, anything that keeps your mind off of like your situation? And she says, making videos. I love editing videos and posting them up and having conversations with my subscribers.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I know, she's in it just to like survive. So she's doing YouTube as a means of just like keeping up with herself and staying happy.
It is a really good, and this is gonna be like the worst deviation ever. I'm not gonna have a peak of the week because nothing's gonna top that. And like literally, I'm grasping at straws to even find one right now, so I'm not gonna do it, because that's amazing. But it really is like right now, like in this moment, and like for the past we've been doing this for a month.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't going through like a slump or anything, but like when I feel like I have like seasonal like ups and downs, like
seasonal affective disorder.
I don't know what that is.
You don't want to say it's a form of like depression, where your mood can sometimes change with the seasons.
No, I feel no, because I honestly haven't paid attention enough.
Sorry, I'm
to
looking
it.
down my cats right here with me.
I haven't paid attention enough to, in a macro sense, to make that observation.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm not gonna say it like that. But I feel just like any regular person, I feel like goes up and down in their moods, and like it can last for months where I just like I don't feel very motivated, because I have a lot of ideas and I want to do a lot of things, and I like being productive and I like doing things, but I get really down on myself that it's too much, and I want to have creative control, and I want to do a lot of it myself, because I'm kind of shy, and I don't like asking people for favors for the most part, and I also just don't know how to talk to people but I don't know how to talk to people in a sense to where like it's like forced, like I'm not gonna like even just now, like the people that were sitting next to me, like I was cool with them, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to like go and talk to them.
Like what I do and stop what I'm doing to go sit with you.
I can't, I just don't, I feel like I would have a reason. I feel like I wouldn't know how to start a conversation, and then I get in my head about it, and so I worry about it. It's like, oh, what am I going to say first? How am I going to keep the conversation going? I feel like once I'm there, it's fine, but like getting there is hard. But because of the podcast and stuff like that, it's given me something to do in between all of those moments of like being on a set. I was on set like 2 months ago, and then I had kind of not a dry spell, but I didn't have any offers after that, so I didn't have anything immediately after to start working on, and so I was just like, what else am I gonna do? And so I would think of a lot of little projects, but it was so hard to keep myself motivated, and so I really like having I like rigidity and a schedule, which I think is like
You're a creature of habit.
I am very much a creature of habit. Like,
I'm the same way.
I like having like rituals and structure, and I feel like I I propel. I flourish in environments like that.
Yeah.
I think it's really good. And I think this has really been like a good thing to have.
That's just hanging out with like lighting and a camera.
Well, I mean, that's essentially what it is, but it's just something that's just like, oh, I feel like I'm doing something besides just going to work.
It feels productive because you have a product to look at.
Yeah, and it's like a tangibility.
We're producing something, yeah.
Yeah, and there's still stuff going on in the background. Like I still have another set to work on and like blah 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 commission pieces and all this stuff. But like, it's good to not have to focus that as like my only thing that I'm doing. Mm-hmm. It's nice, so I can see how that's very therapeutic for her.
You like to spread yourself evenly, like peanut butter. Okay. Like peanut butter.
The creamy kind, not the fucking
crunchy. Crunch gives me anxiety because it's like, oh, when is it going to happen?
I just don't like it. So I understand that. Like that's really really fucking cool that's her outlet. And I feel like it sucks that that can be really isolating. But it's good that she can bond. It's good that like she has like a support system. Yeah,
her mom is also playing a big part of it, I believe, because she like does it like obviously you can't drive yourself after chemotherapy home. Yeah. So she has her mom to help her out.
That's cool. Yeah. I want to look her up. You guys should too.
Yep.
I'll make sure to put a link in the description.
She's a fighter and she honestly deserves that kind of exposure. And I think she's getting followers because her announcement video of her having to go through chemotherapy and having to get brain surgery. Got like catapulted into like the trending page on YouTube. Oh. Okay. So once that happened, it was like picked up everywhere. Oh. So she's getting like news outlets aren't really talking about her very much, but she's getting like the love on YouTube. Yeah. It's all happening for her.
Oh, that's really sweet.
Yeah. So that's my pick of the week. Courtney Liz 1.
Yeah, I don't have one because that's my pick of the week too. As of now.
But there you go.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Yeah.
To recap today's episode, in case you just wanted to, TDLL or TLDL, too long didn't listen. To recap, Daenerys went the fuck off again. I'd rather the Dothraki have me than Jon Snow. Honestly, that's the tea for me.
Vice versa.
Yeah. And my cat's still here. Some Sephora employees can be racist pieces of shit, and that's just life right now, and hopefully we can all make it through it. Courtney Liz, you're doing amazing, sweetie.
You're doing amazing.
You're doing amazing, sweetie. She's like doing it with her phone. Actually, a BlackBerry, if I'm not mistaken. But, I'm missing one. Oh, and Kesha, thank you. Welcome back.
Thank you. We love you. We're embracing you with open arms.
It's lit, man. Thank you so much for all your hard work. You're also doing amazing, sweetie.
Yeah. Do you think that she's gonna... I don't know if...
Can we do that during... Oh my god, during Perla's wedding.
You're doing amazing.
You're doing amazing, sweetie.
During her, like, intimate dance with, like, her dad or something.
You're doing amazing, sweetie. Just, like,
Snapchatting and zooming. I'm gonna take, like, No, you can do that, and I'll take the camcorder, and I'll be the mom from Mean Girls, just, like, dancing to the choreography.
You can be the one with the boom.
Yeah. But thank you guys so much for watching. What episode is this? Episode 6?
5 or 6.
6? 5 is the other one.
6 then.
Episode 6 of the Scrambled podcast. I keep saying the Scrambled podcast. But
we're just Scrambled podcast.
But I mean, we are the Scrambled podcast.
We're the premiere.
Because if someone tries to come after this name, I will not have
a
repetition.
Not today, Satan.
Of meat and potatoes. Nope. I will not.
We're not having that again.
I will not. No. I cannot go through the heartbreak.
I see you in court sweaty.
Sweaty. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Oh my god. Oh no.